Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of whatever you want to call it on this channel. My name's Elder, and I'll be your host for today, this morning, this evening, whenever you happen to be tuning into this live event. I wake up in the morning and I ask myself, what are people complaining about today? 9 times out of 10, it's Donald Trump. Guess what? Today, no different. Trump pushes out tweet naming alleged whistleblower. Right? This is the narrative being thrown around. We got Trump's allies turn to online campaigns in quest to unmask Ukraine whistleblower. We got Trump retweets attack article that names alleged whistleblower. So, what's going on? Why are people upset? Well, apparently Donald Trump retweeted an article by the Washington Examiner, which outed the whistleblower's name. And, the thing is, people are saying that Donald Trump is bringing this to light. He's telling everybody who the whistleblower is. The question that I have is how? It's already in an article that he's just sharing information that's online. The mainstream media has said that this story is not widely being shared by mainstream publications. Hey there, Lee. Thanks for joining us. Not being shared by mainstream publications, but I'm not too sure if they realize that the American population doesn't necessarily just need to get their information from MSNBC or CNN, or if you're here in Canada, CBC, you know, CTV, any of those classic stations. The thing is, the flow of information is wide. There's information being shared all over the internet each and every day, and anybody who can research for themselves will go out and find that information. And so, just because Donald Trump has a large platform and is sharing information that has already been put out on the internet, that doesn't mean that he is the one to bring you that information. Therefore, you can't really put the onus on him for outing the whistleblower. But let's look at this article that the Great White Hope shared on Twitter. Hey there, Der Wonderbar. Thanks for joining us in the chat. See, the whistleblower is an illegal wiretap, Adam Schiff. Right? Yeah. The thing is that the question is, right, when it comes to whistleblowers, should they remain anonymous? If they are to remain anonymous, then how are we ever supposed to know if any of the information is legitimate or if coming from an actual source? Anybody could make up the fact that they have a anonymous whistleblower that's giving them information that they potentially see as correct. As you can see in this inquiry, if you push hard enough, sometimes you actually don't find anything. But yeah. Also, do you think that whistleblowers should be outed? And if they are outed, do you think that they should receive any sort of special sort of protections in order to ensure the safety of that individual? Would you say there, Slappy? Trump is the fucking man? Wow. Okay. Well, thanks for joining us in the chat. And I'm glad that you have your opinions. But Schiff hired former colleague of alleged whistleblower Eric Carmella the day after Trump Ukraine call is the title of the article that Donald Trump retweeted. The House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff hired a former National Security Council aide who worked with alleged Ukraine whistleblower Eric Carmella at the NSC and at the NSC during the Obama and Trump administration, the day after the phone call between President Trump and Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky. Right? I think that you all know that president's name. It was previously reported that by the Washington Examiner that public records indicated Sean Misko, 37, started work on Schiff's committee in August as a professional staff member. A specific start date was not available until this week, when the latest congressional quarterly disbursements were released. Anyways, the new records show that Misko's official hire date was July 26. Misko was the director of the Gulf states of the NSC between 2015 and the first half of 2018. The Washington Examiner has established that the whistleblower is a CIA officer who was on the NSC during the Obama administration and worked on Ukrainian issues with Joe Biden in the 2020 Democratic candidate. Blah 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 blah. Guys, you know how my words go. Carmella 33, is a career CIA analyst and was the Ukraine director on the NSC from 2016 until the summer of 2017. In October 2016, he was Biden's guest at State Department banquet. Either way, continuing to go on, right? They're just inquiring into the fact of whether or not Eric, is that his name? Whatever, Carmela. Both Carmela and Misko started their tenures during the Obama administration and left during the first year of the Trump administration. The Washington Examiner was told by former senior White House official that both had a close bro-like relationship while working at the NSC together. A career CIA analyst with Ukrainian expertise, that alleged whistleblower filed an on August 12th complaint with the Intelligence Committee Inspector General about the July 25th phone conversation between Trump and Zelensky. Right? What do you got to say there? Yeah, they should be outed. Something as important as impeachment that affects the country, they should be front and center, right? So they should let everybody know what's going on. Der Wunderbar, whistleblowers are protected against retaliation. They are not protected to be anonymous, right? And the thing is, like, that's what I'm saying. Should they be protected against retaliation? Because that is a very serious situation if you're going to be releasing insensitive information about the government to your own people. If you're releasing this information to perhaps a foreign government, then I think that it may be a little bit different. And, that's called treason, and you may have to face serious repercussions. But if it's something that impacts the nation that you live, and it's something that the American people need to know, or the country that you live, whatever country it happens to be, and you expose something that your own government's doing to your own people, I do not believe that, I don't think that's treasonous at all. Anyways, we're going to keep going on because who knows, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know if you think I'm wrong in the comments below. The suspected whistleblower did this after meeting with a House Intelligence Committee aide on Schiff's staff about the call, which is now the focus of the impeachment proceedings. Yada yada yada. So they're just going in. So essentially, yada yada yada. We have not spoken directly to the whistleblower, and we would like to. Schiff said on September 17th. However, the statement was false, and an aide from his staff had spoken to the whistleblower before the whistleblower complaint was submitted. As you can tell, right? That happens all the time. By October 5th, it was reported that the whistleblower had never indicated to the Inspector General he contacted Schiff's office before filing the complaint against the president. 3 days later, the whistleblower met with the Inspector General to clarify why he did not mention his meeting with Schiff's staff, saying he did not think that anything of substance was discussed. Strange. Nothing of substance was discussed, yet they figured this was enough to start an impeachment inquiry that led to an impeachment. The House Judiciary Committee is expected to proceed with its first hearings on Wednesday, and Georgia Republican Doug Collins, a senior member of the committee, wants to call Schiff as a witness to testify about what he knows about the whistleblower and the interactions his staff had with the whistleblower prior to filing complaints. During an interview on Fox News on Sunday, Collins said it's easy to hide behind a gavel and intelligence committees behind closed-door hearings, but it's going to be another thing to actually get up and have to answer questions about what his staff knew, how he knew, and what he knew about the whistleblower report. He's had interactions with Ukraine. His interactions he's had with Ukraine, the other things, and that he's had over this time in the process. They just want to know. They want to get to the point, down to the nitty gritty, right? What's actually going on? At a public impeachment hearing, Schiff denied he knew anything, and they just want to know. Yeah, pretty much the end of the article there. So that's what Trump released, right? And so they inquired. It could be this Misko guy or the other dude, whatever his name is. I really don't even care. Carmela. I assume that's what I got from the article, but it's pretty simple. The CIA whistleblower is not a real whistleblower, is what Trump had to say, and people are losing their minds as they normally do, right? And what do you say? Imagine anyone that could accuse someone of a crime in anonymity. We'd all be in jail, and that's exactly the point, right? And it's setting a really bad precedent for, for a legal standard within the United States, as it has always been. You accuse somebody, and it's Innocent until proven guilty, not the other way around. Info Master, thanks for joining us in the chat. Whistleblowers have never been allowed to be anonymous. They're only protected against workplace retaliation, which makes sense. They should not be anonymous. We should know what's going on. So essentially, Derwonderburst says I accuse Nancy Pelosi. Okay, but the thing is that you need evidence. You need to bring forth the evidence to show that they have done this action. They don't need to defend. Like, the defense is not. They don't need to bring forth evidence to show that they didn't do something. That's not the way that. That's not the way life works. But in today's reality, it seems to be the way things are going. So I want to know what you guys think and what you guys are, how you're feeling. Is this a situation where the individual should remain anonymous because of how high profile the case is and how serious of a situation it is? Or is that the exact reason why this person should be brought to light, and we should know exactly who we're dealing with and who's giving us this information? Because if you're going to actually criminally charge someone, you're going to need some real evidence. It's not just based off of how you feel. And so, yeah, I want to know how you feel. I want to know how you feel, though. Like, do you think that Donald Trump is the one to blame? Is he the one that's bringing this information to light? Do you think the Washington Examiner is a mainstream publication? Do you think it's a far-right publication? Do you think that they're giving us false information? Do you think that they're dividing the country? What do you think's going on, right? Woke up today. What's everyone mad about? Donald Trump, obviously. So I'm going to pass the question off to you guys. How do you feel? Pretty much, it's time to just chill out and take a step back and, take a hard look at what's going on in the world around you today. But with that being said, my name's Elder. I think you guys know the rest. Be your own hero, kids.